Hey everyone, today we'll show you how to build a bulk storage for my gold and XP farm. That is the improved version 2 that produces 100,000 XP per hour. And this will basically take all of the drops, which are gold nuggets, gold ingots, and rotten flesh, and just stuff them into shulker boxes using my shulker box loader that I recently published. And I'll also show you how to just build a chest version just in case using shulker boxes is a bit expensive for you, especially considering that we have 16 filters in here. And well, this is something that I've been wanting to design myself anyway, because I'm going to build the version 2 gold farm on exploit as well, but I thought I might as well share it with you. Yeah, I've been having some more fun with storage tech lately, so I just decided to make this and well, share it with you as well. In other words, I'm just going to show you how to build it, how to attach it to my gold farm, because of course it is meant to be used in conjunction with that gold farm, and its individual features and some things that you might be able to do differently, because there are different preferences of course with usage for this gold farm, and I just want to show some flexible options for it. So, this is my gold and XP farm. If you don't know about it yet, there is a link to the tutorial in the description, and it is a very good farm. I highly recommend building it. You can build it anywhere in the overworld, and it gives you an absolute bonkers amount of experience per hour. It gives you 100,000, which is level 167 in an hour. It also gives you about 32,000 gold nuggets per hour, which is a lot of gold nuggets, which translates to about 3,600 gold ingots. And it also gives you 23,000 rotten flesh per hour. That means, of course, we need an absolutely gigantic storage for it. And I've seen a lot of people that wanted an upgrade over the simple chests at each shrine killer that I provided in the tutorial. And well, here you go. This is going to be what I will show you how to build. It is fairly developed. We have 16 shulker loaders in total here. We have 8 for rotten flesh, along with the item filters of course. Then we have 6 for gold nuggets, all those 6 here, and those last 2 are for golden ingots. And well, everything will be funneled into shulker boxes. You have your shulker box input right here, you put your empty shulker boxes in the top, and you get your empty shulker boxes out here, and they will be completely filled with, well, whatever the filter is for. The player still has access to the kill chamber here in the middle, because there is space between the two shulker loader sides, and well, you have to stay there while AFKing, because well, the experience stays there of course, and the experience will amass very quickly and produce lots of lag. So of course you still have to AFK here, but you will of course have all your storage down there, which is pretty good over the simple chests that I had, because that will not last you for very long. Alright, let's go a little into detail on how this works. So, the key component here is those droppers, and those droppers will basically take all the items that gets put into them with the hoppers and the hopper minecart. Basically, everything from the shrine killer gets funneled into either one of those droppers on every side. And then there is this circuit right here. This is a simple auto dropper circuit. It activates a 4 game tick clock, and it will make these 2 droppers fire. Now there's only detection on this side for each pair, and that doesn't really matter much because this one will get cleared out as well. There might be some items left over, but they will never hoard up in larger quantities. The next component here is the glass in front of the dropper, and what you may not know is that when you have a block in front of a dropper, for example glass or even a solid block, and you try to use the dropper, it will completely cancel the X and Z momentum of the items. That means that they will basically fall straight down. They will have no horizontal momentum. As you can see, they fall straight down, and we make use of that to make sure that in our little circuit right here, that everything falls straight into the water streams. And this is basically just a water stream loop. That way we will be able to align the items around these chests for them to be properly pulled in by these hoppers from the item filters, And well, because it loops, we also make sure that no items get lost, we don't have an overflow, we just loop them around, and if an item filter skips, which happens not rarely on Bedrock Edition, because well, hoppers have some issues that I won't go into detail right now, but if it skips sometimes, that doesn't really matter, it just goes around back again. Not to mention, the loop is also necessary because when these items drop in, they won't be aligned on the chest, of course, so they won't be between the ice lane and the hoppers, they will just be in the middle of the track. That means they need to get back around so that they can get aligned around the chest. Now the water stream is cool and all, but there is of course the core of the entire storage, which are these one-wet tileable Shulker loaders. These are of course my design that I recently uploaded. And we have the Tech Rock item filters. I use those because they are very low profile, they don't use much height, and that makes them pretty great for this use because we can limit ourselves on hoppers that way, because it's already quite expensive on hoppers, don't really want to spend more than we need to. As for the interface for the output, I already showed you, this is pretty simple. Right here we have all the empty shulker boxes that we put in, and this works independently for each slice. And here we get the filled shulker boxes output. Let me see, I got one back there I believe. Yes, we do. We have a lot of rotten flesh. And well, this is pretty much the entire thing about this storage system right here. Don't worry, this command block is just for killing off the XP orbs, because those cause quite a bit of lag when I'm trying to navigate this thing and have it on. Alright, let's do a quick demonstration. You already saw it before in this little opening cinematic. We're just going to turn on the trident killers, and oh my lord, that is pretty loud. Let's just turn that down. And then we can just turn on the farm. Now of course when you're actually using it, you want to stand in the center there to collect all the experience, but I have this command block that kills everything off in terms of the experience orbs, and well. So, what will happen here, as you can see, is that all of the drops that drop from Pigman will get collected by this hopper minecart, and like I said, everything will get into these droppers, and this circuit will automatically put them into the water stream. And I already described all the steps, but they just loop around, get aligned, and get filtered into the item filters, which puts them into the shulker boxes, and over time they will just fill up. Before you build a storage, I suggest that you go watch my video on this shulker loader design right here, link is of course in the description, because there are some things you need to know about how this works. For example, this button right here that you see behind me, everything is explained in that video, so just go watch it. Plus, the materials list for each shulker loader is in that video. I will not be doing a materials list for this entire thing, because that is quite tedious, and honestly, you can just figure it out yourself, it's not rocket science. Obviously, if you don't like these shulker loaders, like I already said, because shulker boxes could be very expensive for you and you might not have them readily available, you can just tear those out and from that hopper down just have, well, hoppers in that column and then just chests right there. And that is the simple alternative to using the shulker loaders. I will also show you how to build that instead. Alright, let's just turn this thing off, we'll leave the trident killers on, and I am going to show you how to build this entire thing. Alright, because I'm assuming that you already built this golden XP farm before you built this storage, I am going to show you how to build it from top down, and this is also to account for the possibility that you may want normal chest storage instead of shulker box storage. So first we need to account for the space needed under this gold farm right here. So that means that we're first going to remove those chests because those are obviously not necessary. And what you need to make sure is that you have 10 blocks between these hoppers and the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You need exactly 10 blocks between this hopper and the floor for you to have enough space for this storage. If you have less, then I suppose you can't really build it because I already crammed everything to the minimum height, and well, then you just have to settle for chest storage, I suppose. So we're just going to grab some droppers and some glass, and we're going to make all of these droppers face outwards. Then on the back side of the droppers we have hoppers facing into them to relay the 4 hoppers into the droppers. And then we're just going to put some glass right in front of those droppers to cancel the X and Z momentum. Now just take a look at where these hopper minecarts are. Now I did it with glass, maybe you did it with salt blocks. You can also look on top. You're going to want to see on which side it is more leaning towards. And as you can see, our hopper minecart is more towards here. That means we're going to build the circuit that detects the drops on this side. And that also means that we're going to do it like this on every side. Okay, so once we have all of that, we are just going to place one comparator reading from that hopper. It's very important that it reads from that hopper right here. Then just have a repeater on 4 ticks, comparator on subtract mode, salt block, 3 redstone dust, and a repeater. Now the reason we have this repeater on 4 ticks is that just in case there is some extra items in this dropper that they get cleared, and this means that this will just stay on a little longer than needed. And well, because this comparator is on subtract mode, it will be a 4 game tick clock, and this repeater will of course hard power this dropper, which will also power the second dropper. Okay, now just repeat this entire thing on the 3 remaining sides. Alright, now we're going to build the water stream loop. So just go to one side and go down by 2 blocks. You can remove those blocks after you place the ice. And we are just going to line everything up. So that means just make sure that these glass pieces will always be above ice. And it is fairly simple, so just do that. And there we go. And then just take some more glass. Can also be salt blocks of course, but you know me, glass is the good stuff. Just take some glass and pull it all around here so that it covers the inside. Now just choose the 2 sides that you want to put your storage. It doesn't really matter all that much, but you have to do it on the opposing sides. So we're just going to do it on this side right here and the other side right there. Just take 8 hoppers for each side and make them just face into the glass. It should cut the chunk border right here if you aligned your gold farm properly. Just do the same on the other side, and then we can just place some solid blocks on the sides of the hoppers. Now we're going to put down the chests for the item alignment, so just have one chest right there, and then put some top slabs like this, and do the same on the other side, chests, top slabs like this. It's very important that the top slabs go all the way over there, because otherwise the slightly bigger hitbox will collide and they will get stuck. So just make sure to have, well, the top slab right there. And then just take some more of the glass and complete the entire thing. We're just going to do the loop. It's very simple. Have one button right there, water. It will flow all the way until there, and then just button, water, button, water, button, water. It should look the same on all sides, just like this. Fairly simple. Now we're just going to build the item filters. This is the same regardless if you do the shulker box storage or just the chest storage. Have some temporary blocks under the ice and have the hoppers facing right into them. You can remove those blocks, do the exact same on the other side, and then just set up the item filters. So have some blocks right there, and we are going to have comparators reading from the hoppers. Then just have some temporary blocks like this and place these right there. Have some top slabs right here. Repeaters facing into them, all on 1 tick of course. Torches. Some glass. Some more salt blocks. And then of course cover all of this in redstone dust. And that will be the 1 wattable overflow proof tech rock item filters. Just make the exact same of these on the other side. Now we're just going to want to set up our item filters. Now we are going to have 2 gold ingot filters, 6 gold nugget filters, and 8 rotten flesh filters, and that's why we have the items. Those are of course the filter items. The rest are just filler items. Ideally you would want to rename them, but if you have an item that you are sure that will never get into this water stream, you don't really have to rename it. So what you're going to want to do is go to every of those item filters, and you're going to want to fill in 4 bamboo in the 4 last slots of each hopper. So do that same thing for every one of those filters and do it exactly like this, because what you need to know is that hoppers empty from left to right. That's why you need those in the 4 last slots. This first one will be where the filter items go in. So once you have bamboo in all of those hoppers, we are just going to assign each filter their item. You can do this any way you want really, but what I would recommend is just having the rotten flesh all on this side right here, or any side I mean, but basically have all the rotten flesh on one side, because we're going to have 8 rotten flesh filters. And on the other side, we're going to have the first 6 golden nuggets right here, and then the golden ingots on the last 2 filters, because we will be getting way less golden ingots, and well, it would be just more optimal to have the gold nuggets be picked up first. And there we go, this is the way that I would set up these filters. Keep in mind, of course, that technically you need 41 of each filter item in each, well, item filter circuit, but that doesn't really matter much because they will fill themselves up automatically, and, well, we only need 1 in there so that they properly stack. Alright, I'm just going to quickly show you how to set up the chest type storage. The Shulker storage I will show after that because it is a lot more complicated, but the basic idea for the chest storage is just that you have, well, hoppers like this and chests right next to those. If you want to do the chest storage, it is fairly straightforward. You just do it for every single filter on both sides, and all the items will fill up from bottom to top. And that is pretty much like any other item filter you would see. But what we're going to do now is do the Shulker storage for all of those that are not interested in the normal chest storage. So what we're going to do is just have some pistons, specifically 8 like this and 8 like this, that should be 1 block away from the chunk border. And then we're just going to have some observers facing straight up. Then just have some solid blocks, space them out by 2 blocks, because we're going to have the Shulker box outputs here. This is where all the filled Shulker boxes will end up. And then just have some hoppers that are facing straight into those, 3 total, just like this. Then you have some repeaters that are all going to be on 4 ticks. So just put every single one of those repeaters on 4 ticks. Put some dispensers facing inwards. Then have some sticky pistons right here. Put some trapdoors and make sure to open all of those. Put some salt blocks on top of these pistons. Have some glass. It has to be glass or else the pistons will get powered. These ones will get powered too early. Have some comparators. Some redstone dust. Some more glass right on top of there for the staircase effect. Some more redstone dust. Some sticky pistons facing outwards. Those are going to lock the hoppers when the system either runs out of Shulker boxes or has to dispense a new one. Then just put solid blocks in front of those comparators. Put some temporary blocks in front of those dispensers. Hoppers facing down. Remove those blocks. Some more temporary blocks in front of those redstone blocks. Have the hoppers face into these temporary blocks. Remove the temporary blocks. Then just get some blocks of your choice and close off those 2 sides so that the Shulker boxes never spill out to this side. And from here you have 2 options for inputting the empty Shulker boxes. So there is the one option as shown in my one white tileable Shulker box loader, is that you can have the chests like this. This is pretty convenient because that way you can input dyed Shulker boxes and have them be assorted to your item types. And that's what I like about the Shulker design. It has a clean front with easy accessibility. Or you can also do something else, which would be just having a hopper line on top, and then you just have your other Shulker boxes and you fill them just in right here, and that way you don't have to go through every one of those input chests, which can be a hassle. Instead you just have that single input chest right there. Next you just want to get some blocks, so just put some blocks right there. Have one button, and this is so that we can trigger all of the dispensers in case Shulker boxes run out, because they don't automatically dispense new Shulker boxes once they are empty. So this button will basically just powering all of these dispensers. This step of course is optional, but I'm just going to make it look a little cleaner by adding some blocks and some stairs, and that will be a nice interface. Of course you can choose whatever blocks you want. I'm just going to do this out of these blocks that I always use for, well, tutorials and stuff. And well, this is how this entire thing will look. You're going to want to repeat this entire process for the other side as well. Or if you would like to, you can just have one side with shulker box storage and the other side with normal chest storage. That is all up to you. I already showed you how to build both, so just go back in the video and, well, build it. So this is pretty much the entire storage that I have developed. Usually when people ask me to do a storage video on a specific farm, I usually decline because most of the time making storage is fairly straightforward. It is just water streams and item filters. But for this right here, it wasn't all that obvious. There is some things to consider, for example clock design for the dispensers. Basically it's not all that simple. Even though I took some more time to optimize it and all that, and well, I hope that you find this useful. I try to take everyone's feedback on what they want most and, well, what is actually needed at the moment in the community, and well, I try to make the best out of it. I think I did a pretty good job here, and I hope you enjoy that I did make a video on this. Well, with that being said, please subscribe because I have more interesting stuff like this on my channel, and well, see you around. Bye!